Hello traders, let's sum up the key events of the trading week. Today I'm going to underscore the upside of the current situation because Wall Street is overwhelmed by optimism. The long-awaited summit ended without sensational news and sharp statements, so investors are poised to push the market higher. The major US stock indexes closed yesterday with moderate gains. The Dow Jones closed 1% up, the Nasdaq grew 1.9%, and the S&P500 rose 1.4%. Today, the barometer of the US stock market is extending its growth, trading now at 4,530 points. The index is expected to trade in the corridor between 4,480 and 4,670 points today. Market participants were sitting on the sidelines of these crucial events. NATO, EU and G7 policymakers assembled for the summit on Thursday. Despite new pledges of financial and military aid to Ukraine, Western leaders calmed down investors. They unveiled new blacklisted Russian officials and restricted the Bank of Russia to use gold in transactions. At the same time, they did not ban Russian oil imports and aircraft suppliers, as well as did not close the airspace. Hence, they avoided tough interference in the military conflict. In this context, the markets signed with a relief, so commodity assets went down and the stock market began its recovery. Amid diffusing geopolitical tensions and the hawkish Fed's agenda, the stock market aims to develop a rally. This market sentiment is likely to remain at least in the next session on Monday. The US dollar index retraced amid softer than expected stance on Western leaders. On a Friday, its index retreated to 98.60 from the stunning peak at 99 points. Trading sentiment on the greenback turned sour. The expected corridor for the index is seen between 98.20 and 98.80. The caution stance of Western leaders took the shine off the US dollar as a safe haven asset in the short term. Experts are betting on the US dollar strength in the long term, that is ensured by the hawkish Fed's rhetoric. Macroeconomic data warn of further inflation acceleration that will ensure the US Fed to respond with drastic countermeasures. Some more Fed's policymakers made public comments, advocating for the next rate hike by 50 basis points. Most analysts also find this measure appropriate and predict the increase in the key rate to 2.75 or 1% in May. Such prospects are bullish for the US dollar. The USD CAD pair is trading lower today. The currency pair settled at 1.2520 at a two-month low. Judging by the pre-market and trading instrument is set to extend its slide in the corridor between 1.2480 and 1.2600. The loonie has been advancing against its American rival for more than a week. The reasons are obvious: rate hikes, improving market sentiment, and attention to risky assets. However, the most support comes from high oil prices. Despite the lack of the embargo on Russian oil, oil prices remain at elevated levels. Oil prices are drifting down because investors are alarmed by the looming energy deficit in the global energy market. Investors are puzzled over lots of questions about payments, logistics, and infrastructure. For the time being, Russia weaponizes its energy commodities to put pressure on the West. As long as it happens, oil is set to trade at a three-digit levels. Hence, the Canadian dollar will assert strength. Alongside the stock market, Bitcoin also is gaining ground. The flagship crypto is heading for $45,000 slowly but surely. Yesterday, Bitcoin gained 1.12%, trading at $44,397. Looking back, the digital token has jumped 13.5% for the last 3 weeks. The crypto is going bit by the without sharp price swings. The technical picture suggested that the bullish outlook, improving appetite for risk, and the Fed's aggressive policy provided the crypto with a good chance for its recovery. And today it's likely to break the upper border of the corridor between $44,500 and $45,700. In conclusion, the NATO, the EU summits did not drop any bombshells, but gave some hope for mitigating global risks. Amid the ongoing talks between Russia and Ukraine, investors want to believe in some peaceful solution. Time will tell what will happen in practice. Have a nice weekend and see you on Monday.